Boom. I had a interesting kind of um, trip the other day into, in my mind, a snapshot of culture that I wanted to mention or kind of key in on. I recently have taken several trips to Africa. I've got a good buddy that lives in South Africa. They've been absolutely phenomenal trips in wild country. I love to hunt and fish and be out of doors. We're not trophy hunters in so much that we're going to kill the animals that people get a lot of consternation and intensity about, people taking them, and that's a whole separate subject. But my buddy was able to get a couple of the skulls. So if you know how you do kind of mounts for animals, there's skulls that are called European or skull mounts. I love them because I think they look like a piece of art. If you know Georgia O'Keeffe's artwork, where she has all the beautiful paintings of flowers and bull skulls with the horns. So it's just the skull and the horns. Very, very beautiful. Like I said, it looks like a piece of art. As you can imagine, getting that stuff over to the United States is not easy. They got to make sure they process it right. There's customs agents, there's import agents, there's all kinds of paperwork you need to do, make sure it's safe and coming through. So it can take over a year. The other day, I finally get word that these skulls had arrived and I need to go pick them up. And I had to drive down to a warehouse area where those skulls were being housed for me to pick them up. Paid for, all done. All I need to do is go get them. So I drive down to this area of kind of a major city, and I get in the outskirts where this industrial center is. And as I drive in, you kind of get a sense you've crossed the tracks, so to speak. I get in there and everybody's in a beat up truck. There's a bunch of, places you can get breakfast burritos, 24-hour diner, FedEx trucks, semis going in and out, industrial, kind of gritty, rough looking place. I go in, I find the guy that's got I finally get to my right bay. Guy goes in with a forklift, grabs my crate, brings it out. I load up. As I'm driving out, I'm just struck by the line of people that are waiting to, I'm assuming, get breakfast burritos to start their day and a little bit of coffee at this little coffee stand. Everybody is in the gear you can imagine. Sweatshirts, Carhartts, Timberland boots. They just look rough because they work for a living. No question. From the day they wake up in the morning to the day they kick their feet up at night, they are putting in an honest and hard day's work. I saw one of the people that was driving away from one of these stands that had the local pro sports team's logo on the back of his truck, had it on his sweatshirt, and is pulling away. And it just occurred to me how hard people grind just to kind of experience the basics of what we enjoy in this world. Putting food on the table, making sure the bills are paid. Maybe you get to watch your team on Sunday. If you're lucky, you can afford a couple tickets. I just envision this person that's grinding it out every day, that if they'd worked hard enough to whatever their position was, that maybe they could get season tickets to that pro sports team. And they probably feel like kings of all creation having those tickets to watch their team play all year. I think sometimes we fail to recognize, and plenty of people listen to this might not all be like, hey, I'm a grinder every day. There's also people that, I took a job in the military. That certainly was me paying a tax and a toll to do that job. It gave me great leadership training, teamwork training, technical training, and then has fed into another life where I can do well and afford things that I want to do. Most people are just grinding to get it done and to make it to the end of the day. I'm telling you, if that's you, keep grinding. You have my utmost respect. Ever onward.